A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Mark. Herod was the one who had John the Baptist arrested and bound in prison on account of Herodias, the wife of his brother Philip, whom he had married. John had said to Herod, "It is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife." Herodias harbored a grudge against him and wanted to kill him, but was unable to do so. Herod feared John, knowing him to be a righteous and holy man, and kept him in custody. When he heard him speak, he was very much perplexed, yet he liked to listen to him. She had an opportunity one day when Herod, on his birthday, gave a banquet for his courtiers, his military officers, and the leading men of Galilee. Herodias' own daughter came in and performed a dance that delighted Herod and his guests. The king said to the girl, "Ask of me whatever you wish, and I will grant it to you." He even swore many things to her. "I will grant you whatever you ask of me, even to half of my kingdom." She went out and said to her mother, "What shall I ask for?" She replied, "The head of John the Baptist." The girl hurried back to the king's presence and made her request, "I want you to give me at once, on a platter, the head of John the Baptist." The king was deeply distressed, but because of his oaths and the guests he did not wish to break his word to her. So he promptly dispatched an executioner with orders to bring back his head. He went off and beheaded him in the prison. He brought in the head on a platter and gave it to the girl. The girl in turn gave it to her mother. When his disciples heard about it, they came and took his body and laid it in a tomb. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
The death of John the Baptist is narrated by the Synoptic Gospels and by the Jewish historian Josephus. Both Gospel and extra-testamental accounts note the offensive adulterous union between Herod Antipas and his niece Herodias, and the fact of the daughter born of Herodias' first marriage to Antipas' half-brother Herod Philip. Mark reports that the Baptist's charge infuriates Herodias, who finds an appropriate occasion for revenge on Herod's birthday. Josephus, instead, focuses on the political angle. Herod imprisoned and executed the Baptist because he feared a political uprising. John's proclamation of the unlawfulness of his marriage to Herodias could be interpreted as a call to insurrection from within his territory. He imprisoned John in Machaerus, a fortress in the Transjordan, northeast of the Dead Sea. In order to marry Herodias, Antipas repudiated his former wife, the daughter of Aretas IV, king of Nabatea, in AD 36. The Nabatean hordes swept down on Antipas and administered a stinging defeat to his army. The people, Josephus says, interpreted it as an act of God avenging the murder of John the Baptist. Speaking of Herod in a homily, Pope Francis said that at first, Herod believed John was a prophet, listened to him willingly and protected him to a certain extent, but held him in prison. He was undecided because John reproached him for the sin of adultery. The king heard God's voice asking him to change his life, but he could not because he was corrupt. And it is very difficult to get out of corruption. Herod could not come out of the tangle as he tried to make diplomatic balances between his adulterous life and many injustices and the awareness of the holiness of the prophet whom he decapitated.